believe it was Steve Jobs that said, focus is about saying no, right? So we have all types of distractions. We can get rid of distractions. You have the actual physical distractions, things that are coming up and that you need to get out of whatever your physical world to be able to focus better. If there's music, if there is people just running around, etc., that will just be distractive. There are also the physiological distractions. Physiological distractions meaning things like being sleepy, being thirsty, hungry, sick as well. Yeah, and then horny. Try working really hard when your mind is on sex. Actually, I was talking about the obsolete programs. So some of those instinctive programs are still very much active today and useful, like sex and nurturing are two of those programs that we still use a lot. But sex is a tricky one because it gets our mind distracted and we tend to do stupid things whenever we have our minds focused on that one. So distractions are an issue. You have physical distractions, physiological distractions, and cognitive distractions. The cognitive distractions are the ones that, cognitive distractions are the ones that are just things in your head you're thinking about and you can't think about anything else. And networks of neurons can't do two things at the same time. So whenever you think about one thing, you can't think at the same time about something else. You have to shut that door first and then focus on something else. So these networks of neurons you need to focus on one thing. So we have two kinds of situations. One where there is too much on our mind and we can't focus. The other one is there isn't enough on our mind and we get bored. Ever been in one of these? Oh, maybe you're right now. Death by PowerPoint. Oh my God. I've been in, literally, I was like in the back of the room there, lady, hello. I was you, and I was like, just put me out of my misery. I can't. It was like one of these 3 days events where team after team would come up and present their stuff in such a boring way. After the second day, I couldn't take it anymore. Anyway, so this is a real thing. It's a real thing, death by PowerPoint, and it happens way too often. So the thing with, so that's an issue. You need to be stimulated enough. No, you have to get enough stimulation to not be bored, but not too much stimulated to not get distracted, right? Does anybody know what this is? This is actually the desk of Albert Einstein the day after he died. Albert Einstein, commonly known as a kind of smart guy, right? So yeah, if you're into clean desk policy, this part will be really interesting for you. So Albert Einstein, when he was still alive, they would ask him about this, and he would say, if a cluttered desk is a sign of a cluttered mind, of what then is an empty desk a sign? This guy has such great quotes. Too bad he isn't around anymore. Anyway, so okay, what's the truth? Should we have a clean desk policy or should we have a cluttered desk policy? Yeah, cluttered desk. Never heard that one before. Let's have a cluttered desk policy. The thing is, scientists, as always, have wanted to go to the bottom of things and find out what's the truth here. What can we do? What is most interesting and what works best? Turns out depends on what you're working on. So if you're working on something that will get you easily distracted, something that is actually kind of boring and kind of underwhelming, very repetitive tasks, things that you really just need to get into the rhythm of things, and you don't need distractions, there you need a clean desk policy. Clean desk policy, as little distraction as possible to be able to stay on track and do whatever you're doing. Counting. When you start counting and you have someone else around next to you saying other numbers, you'll have to restart 20 times, right? So that's exactly this. This is what this is about. Simple tasks. No, you don't want to get distracted. However, If your task is more demanding, if it's more complex, if you need to really take into consideration all kind of parameters and variables, and you really have to do some deep level thinking, and what I really love is, for me, the epitome of brain capacity is actually pattern recognition. So when you really have to go into problem-solving mode and start to look at, try to find underlying patterns and find solutions, well, your clean desk won't help you there. Actually, people with a cluttered desk, like Albert Einstein, who exactly did that kind of work, will outperform people with a clean desk policy. Having everything over there will help you somehow absorb things and be able to be more creative, be more into that system, too deep level of thinking, and be able to do things on a high level.
Sharpen your mind.